Hi, I'm Christine Herman of Herman's Quality Meat Shop in Newark, Delaware. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're glad to have you back. In this video, we are going to be talking about ham, fresh ham, smoked ham. Are you ready? What I would like to do in this video is take a few minutes and talk to you about fresh ham versus a smoked ham, a pink ham versus a red ham. And you may be saying to yourself, I already know what you're talking about, and that's perfectly fine, but I invite you to stay focused with me and listen. You might learn something new anyway, but you might also hear some terminology that you're not familiar with or you've heard before and you're not sure what it means. So to backtrack, I have a lot of customers that will call me and they will order a fresh ham. And I have learned to ask and specify, do they mean a raw piece of pork, which is this, and we'll talk about what this is in a minute, or a smoked ham that is not frozen. The term fresh can be misleading. And then we have the conversation. And that is where sometimes we get a little confused. There's also the term of pink ham, and you can see how pink this is versus how more on the red side the smoked ham is. So those are a couple of words and terminologies that I would like to use to explain what I'm getting at. So these two pieces represent the thigh of the pig. And this is, yes, very large. I'm going to pull this together. I've cut it for some reasons, purposes that we'll talk about. This right here, use your imagination, if you will, you don't really have to work too hard at that, is the entire thigh of the pig. This right here is his upper shank, part of his going down to his leg, and then here is his hip bone right here, this bone here. So you can see, I'm going to flip it upside down, and you can see there's skin there. Of course, there's a label, the inspection label, and you can see the skin. Try and work this out so you can see how that looks right there. This particular piece of leg meat is probably about 22, 23 pounds. It's a pretty good sized piece of meat. And it is exactly how it comes off the animal. There's nothing has been done to this in any way other than the fact that we have cut it in half. And you can see how absolutely beautiful this is. The natural fat right in here. Here's the bone, and there's actually, I think there's a gland up in here. Well, not in here so much. There's just the natural fat that we can trim out or leave in, and it just makes it taste so delicious. And it is used for baking exactly the way it is. Some people like to brine it, smoke it, and it's also like you can inject it if you want to inject it with some flavors and then bake it that way. And as a whole piece, this is also the piece of meat that is used to make prosciutto. So this is what we refer to as the fresh ham, or the thigh muscle of the pig. And then we take this and we put it in a smoker. Let me slide this over here. We put it in a smoker, and after several hours of smoking, we come out with this beauty right here. And this is essentially, there you go. There's the shank right here. It's been removed, the skin's been removed, but here's the hip bone also right here. And you can see how beautiful that looks. It smells delicious, by the way. And flip it over. You can see there's some natural fat. This is not skin. This is actually just the outer meat that has been smoked. And there's like a netting was on it to help hold all of the meat together, so to speak. and that's why you see, if you can see like the lines in it. And then when you cut it, you can see how exactly it resembles, this piece is here and this piece is here, how it resembles the natural fat. Again, right there is beautiful. And this is cooked already. Because it's smoked, it's cooked to temperature. You can eat this exactly the way it is because, again, it is smoked. And you have, what I recommend is, I like to score it a little bit on the outside, put some cloves on it. If you want, or you can do any kind of a glaze at that point and heat it through. So something like this, either one of these pieces would probably cook for heat through 325 for probably maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, getting nice and hot. You can put any kind of a glaze on it that you'd like, if you would like to, or you can just heat it just to help bring out the natural flavors. And you can use anything from a brown sugar and orange juice, honey mustard, pineapple and cherries. Again, whatever you would like to put on pork or ham, create your own, and it would be absolutely delicious just the way it is. So your fresh ham, your smoked ham, pink ham, red ham. I hope that that was a helpful video and some tips to give you to help clear up and clarify. Either one of these hams are fabulous for entertaining any time of year. And what we do here at Herman's is we cut these to your needs. We have some customers that will buy the whole thing, some that will just want 5 or 6 pounds. They'll want the bone in, the bone taken out, the skin on, make it skinless. So there's lots of options that we do with this. And some people like to cut it up and take it in like cubes and make a recipe with it that way. So we'll do anything that you would like us to do. And the same with this ham. We sell a lot of hams either whole, and we figure about 3/4 pound per person as a guide to give you an idea how much to order for yourself or your family. And we also will give you an option of which end you want, the shank end or the butt end. And we also sell a lot of just what we call ham steaks, and we'll just take a slice, maybe 3/4 to an inch, sometimes 1.25 inches. And that's really nice too, because if you're only serving 3 or 4 people, what are you going to do with all this ham? And if you make it too small of a piece, you have a lot of bone. So the nice part about a ham steak is that you can grill it or broil it or pan fry it if you'd like, and you can still have ham for your holiday or for your meal without having a ton of leftovers. But do keep in mind that the bone, either way, is awesome for making other recipes, whether it's stock or whether it's ham and bean soup, or the options are split pea soup, whatever you'd like to do, or just making a really nice pork broth as a base for any one of your recipes. So there you go. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you learned something new tonight. Thank you. Okay, I have a fun kitchen tip for you. You might think I'm a little bit crazy, but this is something that I have done, and even my mom has done for many, many years. We have always traveled with food, whether we're bringing it to somebody's house or we're bringing it home from somebody's house. And I've also done a lot of, I'm going to call them picnics, if you will, at sporting events. When our kids were active in different sports and we needed to eat on the run, sometimes you can't just eat at home, and we didn't do a lot of takeout a long time ago. I'll just not go there. But anyway, what we did was I was able to cook a meal, and then I would bring a meal to the ball field or the soccer field or wherever we were, and those that were not participating would be able to eat dinner, or my husband was able to eat dinner in a timely fashion. And you may think, well, that sounds okay, no big deal. Well, some of the things that I would make or that I make now and travel with are things like soups and stews and pastas that I don't want to take a chance in spilling in my car. So I kind of devised something that works for me. And hear me out and see what you think. The first thing I want to suggest is that if you're going to be making something and traveling with it, try and put it in something that is bigger than what you can hold. So in other words, this pot is a good sized pot. I don't want to fill it up and try and travel with it. I want to maybe have it down here filled so that it doesn't splash all over the place and make a mess. And we're going to talk about how to not make a mess. And you can see that I have this beautiful wrap right here that is actually was a gift from Japan. And I have a glass dish. So let's just say I have, even if it's a Jell-O mold, something simple as a Jell-O mold or a fruit bowl, doesn't matter, whatever it is, I put the lid on it. I don't want to take a chance in having this moving around. So what I'm going to do is take something like this, or a tablecloth, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, and tie it. It keeps the lid in place, and it just keeps everything secure, just like that. And I can tie it again if I want. And there you go. Now this isn't going anywhere. I can actually carry it this way. But that's one way to transport. And another way is in a pot. So again, let's just say you're doing a potluck and if you don't have a fancy crock pot or a fancy Corningware dish that has a special lid and bag to hold it and insulate it and so on and so forth, you do it the old-fashioned way and you put your contents in the pot. You got your lid on, and this is my favorite, and I've done this for years. I keep an old tablecloth handy just for this purpose. And again, you're probably going to think I'm crazy, but you know, you might end up doing this someday. I don't know, maybe you won't. But I take it, and it actually also acts as insulation. And you can wrap it simply like that. You don't have to tie it. You can just tuck the ends in like this, and then grab a box. I always keep at least one box handy, and set it in like that. And now I am secure to put this in my car, on the floor, or in the back tailgate of my car, the trunk of my car, wherever, knowing that it's not going to slide around so much and it's not going to be messy in my car. It might sound silly, but I suggest if you ever have a need to travel with food, give this a try. It works. You've got some insulation. You've got something pretty. Dubs as a scarf too, just so you know. Anyway, it works. Give it a try sometime. Thank you. Fresh ham, smoked ham. It's the leg of the pig. However you want to enjoy it, give it a try. I know you'll love it. Thank you. Remember to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our page, like our channel, and become part of the Herman family. Thank you so much. God bless you.